Hey guys, I'm back with a new video, and this time it's a bit more educational instead of doing this for like a couple minutes. Oh yeah, by the way, my mic, it's finally working. I used it in the last video, but it wasn't working because I didn't set it up properly, but now it is, so I'm very excited to be using this. Super cool, by the way. Like, I'm actually amazed by it. Anyway, A-levels are approaching. Mine start in June, but generally, the exams start in May. And so I think it is kind of a shared sentiment that you need to start studying right about now. So I am like the kind of person that really struggles to know what to study, to stay focused, and stay committed to studying after like a long time. So like if I spent like an hour doing bio, I'll be like, I just can't be asked to do an hour of chem or something like that. So I'm going to kind of share what I've been doing to study and like my strategy for someone that might be similar to me, because I think that it is really crucial to start like getting your study schedule together, start getting your habits together. I mean, like even just aside from studying, like you need to find a good balance of life to work ratio. First things first, I don't think I would be able to function without this. It is so incredibly crucial to me. And I think it's like important to everyone. A study schedule. To be honest, like it helps you stay disciplined, it helps you stay grounded, and it helps you like kind of just bring some order to your life when things are so chaotic, because like I think our lives, people who are going through A-levels, like that are so close to the exams, like we're feeling the pressure of everything. And I think choosing what to study that day should be one of those things you shouldn't have to worry about, because you can do that in advance. So how I made mine was I looked at the spec, I looked at the textbook, and I looked at the chapter, the topic, the subtopic, and I decided that with the amount of time that I have enough time to only do one subtopic per day, minimum. Like you can increase that, but I think spending 1 hour on one subtopic per subject is good enough. Typically, for a typical A-level student, that's 3 hours a day for all your subjects, and I think that's a fair amount. If you have more time, you can just repeat the cycle of like doing another hour of like bio, another hour of history, whatever you take, if you have the time, because I think 3 hours leaves you time to relax, to spend time with your family, to go for a walk, to do homework or study for tests that you have the same week or the week after. And I think that it is a pretty good schedule, especially because you're starting quite early, so you don't really have to worry much. If you cannot be asked to make your own schedule, because it took me such a long time to make mine, use ChatGPT, use AI, whatever you use. Tell them what spec you're using, how much time you have left until your first exam, and just say like what is a good schedule or something for all your subjects. And I think that's good. And then the only time consuming part is actually just kind of plugging it into your calendar. And I just use like Apple Calendar, but if you want, Google Calendar works. Like, it doesn't really matter. But for me, Apple Calendar works the best because I have a MacBook. I think another thing that I do to try and balance my time more is during my freeze, I allow myself to be chill, but at the same time, I don't allow myself to get distracted when I'm trying to lock in. So in school, to minimize the time that I have to work outside of school so I can focus on studying, I do all my homework and I study for tests during my DSs. If you don't have the time, understandable if you have to take time outside of school to do it. But honestly, like I think that doing it in school really reduces the amount of stress that I've felt outside of school, because I can just focus on one thing without all of these things in the back of my head saying like, I have to do all of these things after I've studied 3 hours, I'm going to be exhausted. No, because after I study those 3 hours, I typically feed my dog, Maple, when I go for a walk. I come back, I get changed, and I go for another walk, but like a longer walk that's more so for just clearing my head. And then afterwards, I just spend the rest of my evening, talking to my friends, talking to my boyfriend, talking to my family, and spending time with them. So that's how I like to spend my evenings these days. I think also the study schedule allows me to have Saturday and Sunday free, which is great. And I really try not to use those days to do any schoolwork. I allow that time for me to at least be social with my friends and stuff. But honestly, I have 3 tests next week, which is actually like an abomination to my whole existence. But I am going to use tomorrow, Sunday, to actually study. Instead of, well, I've already studied a little bit for these tests, but I feel like I have reason to actually use that time to study, and I probably will go to a library tomorrow to do that so I stay disciplined. Another thing that I do is I'm downloaded this app. I've used it in the past, but honestly, I wasn't a big fan of it. You don't have to do this, but Flora, there's also other ones where you can like raise a pet while studying and stuff. But this is good because you can collab with your friends, which is really cool. And you can obviously like grow plants with every focus that you have. And it stops you from using like apps. So you're really like locked in, because my phone is actually the biggest problem when it comes to my focus. Like I actually cannot live without my phone, and I can admit that. So at least like even though I'm constantly checking my phone, the fact that I can't access apps really does help with my concentration, and it's just been really helpful. I think I don't know, I'm not really the biggest fan of that like whole app, but I do appreciate the concept of being able to focus and like being forced to focus more so. I think also it really does help that you can collab with people on here, not just like see people's progress, but like you can have like cool study sessions with people and you can lock in together. And I feel that really boosts your study morale. And it has for me personally, because I'm like aware that someone else is studying with me, so I should also be just as motivated and study with them too. I mean, I don't really do this, and I don't know if this works. Like, I think for me it works, like especially when you feel that exam pressure. But obviously, since like A-levels are so far away, you don't really feel it yet. Study calls. I think doing a paper together, being able to do a paper together and kind of like comparing answers, comparing how you did it, and then looking at the mark scheme can be a super useful concept. But obviously, if you're not that type of person, then maybe not. I'm yet to try that out. I probably will try it out soon, because my chem group really wants to do like this collaborative study thing, and I'm so open to it. Like, I would love to have the company while studying, but I think it's really down to the people around you, like the people you're studying with, how committed to studying they are too, and to focusing, because it can just turn into this whole like circus basically where no one really studies. I think that balance that I've created right now is so nice. Like after studying, sitting at my table for 3 hours, going out and going for a walk, and kind of just listening to music and clearing my head, and then coming back and just not really doing work because I don't have to. I've created the time for myself in school to do the work that I had to. It makes it so easy. Like, I've been less stressed, but at the same time so much more stressed, because I think really disciplining myself and locking in requires me to make sacrifices. Like during free periods, I have to, like, if people are being too distracting around me, I will have to go to another room to focus, because I really hate the fact that if I don't do it in that lesson, I have to do it at home, and I don't have time for that if I want to be like chill and stuff. So that's how I feel. I will probably make another study vlog soon with me like using all of the strats that I gave you guys, but I don't know, because I have to edit the video, and I love editing. It takes a long time. So that's it for today, guys. It doesn't work for everyone, but it works for me. So I hope it works for you too. Bye, guys.